Hello and welcome back to HRD Live on day 2, where I'm now joined by the incredible Pedro Angulo again. Pedro, thanks for rejoining me here on HRD
thanks, Michael.
Live. So yesterday, we had a bit of a chat with Sam McNeil from Song Division, but what yesterday really stuck out to you? What did you enjoy? We talked a lot about trust.
Yes.
Right? That was a big factor.
So trust was a big thing. I think when you're trying to create a culture of innovation, collaboration, a high-performing organization, trust is the foundation.
Yeah, of course.
And to make it more difficult, we have a deficit of trust. People, customers, they lost a lot of trust in organizations.
Of course.
They have lost a bit of trust on their own leaders. So rebuilding that trust, it creates a huge opportunity, but it also creates a challenge. And I think those organizations that invest on creating a trusting culture, not only they'll see a reduction on cost because there'll be less need for checking on people.
Right, of course.
It'll also actually deliver a better customer outcomes.
Of course, and within that organisation, then those employees feel like they can bring that entire self to work. So I'm trusted. I can do exactly as I feel. I can give what I can to that organisation.
Absolutely.
But so today, then let's look at today. What looks exciting? What are you looking forward to?
So there were 5. There are so many good things, right? So as I said yesterday, for me the difficulty is about narrowing where do you go to. But there were 5 things that really attracted my attention. The first thing is a session on selecting and developing diverse talents. So going back to your point around, in order to become a more creative, innovative organization, we have to tap into diversity. We have to tap into different energies, different ways of seeing the world. How do we go about it, and how we use technology in a cool way to attract the new talent, the talent of the future. So really looking forward to see how can I learn from that session around the new technology that is out there to attract and develop diverse talent. So
it's one of the
really good.
biggest challenges, I think, as well. You have diversity on the one hand, and then trying to figure out how on earth does tech play a part of this, because it's going to play a part in it, right? There's nothing you can do about that. How do you combine those to make the most of it?
Absolutely, and what we find as well is that attracting talent is hard enough because you're competing with a lot of people. Particularly in Ireland, we have a small enough pool talent, so we have a lot of people competing for the same people. And that makes it even more difficult. So the ability to attract the right people is challenging enough. But then once you attract them, how do you create a really good, engaging experience? So that you keep them engaged, and then when it gets to selecting them, they actually say, yeah, they're the ones I want to work with, as opposed to somebody else.
Yeah, of course. Fantastic. So what else then? So we've got diversity and talent. Is there anything else out there that you're just dying to go and see?
Yeah, so the other piece that I thought it was quite interesting is navigating the workforce of the future. So I was thinking about that in terms of my own context, and we now have 5 different generations at work. So we used to think that dealing with millennials is a difficult thing. Well, dealing with centennials is going to be difficult. So we have now people working for us that are on their 18s, 19s, 20s, very different.
Totally different mindset and approach, different expectations as well.
And the way we create an employee experience will become very different because they see the world differently, and we need to tailor our employee experience to them. How do we do that when you have people my age that probably see the world very differently? So what I was thinking is about how do we even co-create with centennials and millennials? How do we do maybe a hackathon? How can we do something so that they help us create an experience that actually really meets their needs, as opposed to what we think their needs are.
Have their input into creating that experience, right? It makes so much more sense. This kind of chimes with something we were actually talking about before around learning, right? How to reinvent learning in organizations. I know this is something that you care about quite a lot. Like, how do you nail that? Is that something that you're looking forward to seeing today? Is that something you expect to see?
So there's a session around reinventing leadership development. So that's probably the one I'm going to go to.
Oh, fantastic.
From our perspective, the biggest challenge that we have is to get anybody for even half a day off work to do any development. To the point that we are playing around with micro-learning, with podcasts, with live streaming like this. It's just becoming more and more timely, on demand, with a view. I think at the moment what our approach is give something, almost like little seeds for people, make them curious about something,
Right.
and then say, well, if you are interested on this, here is where you need to go to get more.
Fantastic.
I think if you give somebody, a whole day, it's very hard to give people a day for a
Exactly,
day.
right? No, I know that very well. Finally, before I let you go and explore the rest of the summit, is there anything you'd like to say to everyone watching? One note of inspiration from Pedro Angulo. What should people who can't be here take away from the event?
Listen, that's a great question.
Just threw it on you there.
I'll go back to my father. He didn't go to university, but funnily enough, he created on me the passion for ongoing learning. He always said to me, Pedro, learn, learn, learn. It doesn't matter what it is. Read from Mother Teresa to Karl Marx. It doesn't matter. Just be curious. Read about everything. Read about anything. Pick up the good bits of everyone. Pick up the good bits of everything.
Right.
And then create your own thinking, your own view of the world. So what I would say to people, I say, look, I think that the real leaders of the future, the real successful people of the future are those people who are able to reinvent themselves by learning, relearning, unlearning. And that's going to become another thing, how we unlearn some of the old habits and behaviors.
Hugely important now.
And create new ones.
Wow, that's fantastic. What an amazing note to another. Pedro, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you very much.
Stay tuned, guys. 9:45, Eric Hutchison will be here. Thanks.
Thank you.